Aquarius, you spoke first. Here's your reading. We're going to do my old-fashioned past, present, and potential outcome. And we're just going to hop right into the position of what could have happened in the past. We have the Seven of Cups and the Justice card. Right off the bat, this is talking about weighing a lot of options. Okay? And, you know, this is the dilemma of being so versatile, being so agreeable, being so likable, is that there's so many different pathways that you could go because so many of them feel like they're saying yes to you, or they're drawing you in. But it's like we had to really sit firm in our understanding. We had to really know what we were agreeing to. So this Justice card paired with the Seven of Cups, it's like we had to reconcile with this pattern that was showing up. Because I say pattern because the Seven of Cups can resonate with fixed energy of Scorpio. And this can be looking at, with that Scorpio energy, looking at what we are tethered to in regards to others and their resources. What we're tethered to in regards to other people's beliefs and values. This may have been you going through like another chopping block of acquaintances and friends, looking at your relationships and wondering, is this actually worth keeping? And then actually doing that assessment. But I do sense that there was some form of exhaustion that came with having to do this again. This Justice card, it can feel like this is too much power to yield, or to wield, and I guess yield at times. And I feel like there is agitation with you having to participate in needing to choose to this extent. Some of you, it is talking about when it comes to like your more intimate connections or your dating life. You were seeing what the options were, but it felt like the same old, and you may have decided to just choose yourself. Maybe this is also you, if we're going to talk about shared resources and things being fixed, this could look like the market for enough of you, and you just paying close attention to your investments, stocks, bonds, anything like that, ETFs, or just paying attention to the different accounts in your life, different subscriptions, like really getting your things in order, because there may be, some of you have a strong narrative associated with, you know, choosing solitude, choosing to be single, choosing maybe not to have a family the way that you thought, choosing to just navigate ahead with you as the captain of the ship. You're not worried or not trying to be so considerate. Bear with me here. You weren't trying to be so considerate of what other people wanted for you. It was really sitting down with what you've already got and maybe just making some peace with that there. Because the Justice does have to, you know, assess from a neutral space as much as possible. And they can do that while looking at the data, looking at the information. So a lot of you did decide to, even though it may have been uncomfortable, to put yourself in the position of an authority where you are rejecting. You are rejecting ideals, you're rejecting beliefs, you're rejecting invitations, you're rejecting anything that is outwardly rejecting you. And that could take a lot of work. And that Scorpio energy, that's some heavy stuff to deal with sometimes. That's that death and that rebirth. But what a perfect segue, because in the present we have the Death card in reverse and then the Queen of Pentacles upright. See, all of that work, all of that revising, all of that assessment that you were doing, looking at the different forms of investment, looking at the practices, the values, that has led to a very prominent rebirth. Like this, the stage of like walking through the valley of darkness, if I may. Do you see the way I'm approaching it? Like, I feel enough you, it's like, I've done enough of that right now. Now I want to be seen. You're planning to be more visible. You're planning to present yourself in a particular way. Appearances can be really important to the Queen of Pentacles because of planning ahead. There's so much comfort and penciling in of personal comfort that is prioritized right now. And this is what the rebirth is talking about. It's understanding that we have gone through the fire. We have been burned. We have watched towers fall. Even ones that we built ourselves or ones that we participated in building. We have seen it all. But it's in your nature to rise again. It is in your nature, Aquarius, to be adaptable. That rebellion lives within you, right? You're ruling the planet. It definitely promotes that. And for a lot of you, you're still planning to put yourself first. You're still planning to be the priority in your life. You're still planning for a future that works for you. And it's one that is inclusive of transformation. Transformation of feeling. Transformation of thought. You are absolutely exercising your wisdom on a day-to-day basis, because I'm seeing like a daily planner. Well, this is the person. Just love it. Just love preparing to feel good. There it is, Aquarius. Many of you are now in the spirits of preparing to feel good, planning to feel good. This is more than just, I'm planning a vacation I've always wanted to go on. This is looking at the details, that earth energy, that Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is really heavy-handed on the details. We're looking at what it is that we can consume and create. We're looking at how that can actually help us replenish our resources, but also promote resources and divvy them out appropriately. And then we're also looking at how we can take this information that we've gained and build more on that and lead the appropriate, organizations, lead the appropriate conversations. Aquarius, your strength right now is in the way that you plan to feel good with what you've got. For some of you, it's going to sound like a different practice of gratitude. You're talking to yourself in a different way. For some of you, this is what that work was about, is revising that internal language, understanding your feelings, and making space for you to hear the language that's attached to these different scenarios, to these different stories that could be living within you. Not trying to get rid of them, but to observe them, to give them justice, to give them the stage, the floor, to be seen. And this death card in reverse is for enough of you, he's like, you definitely participated in tearing down some of those old foundations. And maybe for some of you who are planning to feel good, you're planning on tearing down some more. That spirit of rebellion doesn't feel as volatile. It's like, I don't know, I know what I'm going to do. I understand magic and thought and belief can get out of hand. But I can also choose to perceive what I've got and what I can offer differently. I can participate in a rebirth in every single moment. I can always choose. And I can always plan to see things from a certain angle. Even when I'm in the thick of it, even when I find myself a little lost in the frame. When I find myself in that story again, it's okay. I can plan for my comfort. I can plan to be the priority. I can plan to experience that rebirth. I can plan to experience the full extent of what I need to do to rest and recover so that I feel totally prepared to present myself to the world when it comes time. And the thing about that, being in the present, about you being so attuned to what your needs are, to what your comforts are, and you standing very firmly on the fact that you are important. Your time is important. Your energy is important. Your space and your boundaries are important. This leads to the potential outcome here. the Knight of Wands and the Three of Swords. This is ease in being able to cut ties. I immediately heard like severing contracts. This Knight of Wands is very, very flexible. So this could be talking about going from a very structured situation to one that's more hybrid and flexible. The Three of Swords, it's clarity. It doesn't mean that there's always pain involved, but you know, when you are closing certain doors, you're also aware that other doors have opened. This could be a moment of realizing, I realize what I am closing off, what I'm walking away from. And of course, there can be this sense of bittersweetness that can come with the realization, with the clarity. But it is the ability to be able to make a choice on a whim, to be able to exercise your financial freedom, to be able to exercise your energetic freedom, just freedom altogether, to live from that theme. This is also, if we're going to live from that theme, we understand that we can't put this in front of us. It's allowed to be a part of our story. This is swords, right? It's allowed to be a part of our story, but we don't have to allow that to prevent us from being able to move or break out of particular emotional cycles, or to not be able to identify a pattern or have the thing, Aquarius, is that you know that that spirit within you is always there. They're always there. And it's like, there's this understanding that it's like the risk to love is the risk to experience loss. The risk to love is the risk to grieve. And when we choose to love ourselves, to put ourselves first, to know that rebirth is always possible for us, to understand that it's about how we plan on getting back up again, then we understand that we would also be losing the emotional, sensational connection to the part of us that felt safe hanging on to those old stories. When we choose differently, we are letting go of a different part of ourselves. And whatever this is, Aquarius, it's been trying to hang on to you for a long time. I think it's been a fixture for an extended period of time. You may feel like it's overstayed its welcome. That 7 can also indicate like the age where like our beliefs are pretty hard-coded. And that justice could be talking about you giving yourself the bandwidth to explore beyond what may have been seen as limitations or expectations out in the wild. What you were told you were supposed to do, what you were told you were supposed to expect. I feel like a lot of you gave yourselves the chance to say, but what if there's something else? As the water bearers, you actually understood your role as the vessel and as the water and as the observer of the two. You are very immersed in having a full body experience, a holistic experience. And that is why this Death card in reverse, it feels very powerful paired with this Queen of Pentacles, who is planning to feel good. It's like you're planning to exercise your power. You're planning on sharing the fire within you. How it is that very fire that is what shapes. It's what shapes the way that you carry yourself forward. It's what shapes the structure within you. It's your passions, it's what you believe, it is your spirit that is carrying on. And you no longer have to choose being diminished. I feel like what this is talking about is the ease in your ability to be able to step away from anything that promotes these sensations of lack. The thoughts or these themes of you not being good enough. It's like shifting quickly away from the idea of expecting disappointment. The more you plan to feel good, the more you recognize when you don't. So we can quickly engage in movement. This is my double fire. Super fast. This is about you having much clearer internal vision. And that potential can only grow, Aquarius, the more you choose to prioritize your comfort. The more you put yourself first, the more you understand why resting it's ultimately going to lead to that rebirth. You're understanding more of yourself now. How you operate, how you function, what works for you now, what a rebirth for you will feel like now, and what it feels like to feel charged up by your own passions, to have space away from other people's expectations and beliefs, and to understand that you are the one who took action and made all of this happen. You have confirmed that, I feel you've confirmed that like happiness is a possibility for you and you're sticking to it. You're sticking to that. You're choosing to attach to that. You're choosing to challenge anything that opposes that. This is a beautiful, quiet rebellion. And I'm here for it. I totally support this. So with that being said, Aquarius, congratulations. I hope it feels good and it continues to feel even better every single time you recognize you can choose yourself in this moment. And realizing that that opportunity looks different, sounds different, will show up in different ways. You have survived. Okay? And now because you don't have to figure out a new way to survive, you're ready to live. And I love that you are prioritizing your happiness and your excitement, and that above all else, you are planning to feel good, because that's the secret. Okay? So I thank you for allowing me to be a messenger. I love your feedback as well. Do comment, do like and share, and definitely subscribe if you haven't. I'd like to help this channel recover from its great losses over the years, but I'm happy to be back, and I really do love and appreciate all of your feedback. I'm happy to be here, and I'm really happy to witness all of this hard work that is paying off. There's a lot of gratitude in this work, and I am very grateful to be able to interpret and channel messages for each and every one of you. So I intend that you felt seen and heard. I intend that this reading also helped you feel validated, and also remind you that this is about the potential of what we can do. You decide, okay? I don't usually say my name, but I need to do that more often. If you don't know, my name is Mayan, and I really, really, really want you to do your best to keep the faith, okay? So Aquarius, until next time.